You're listening to Intellectual Nudity, Uncensored, Uninhibited, Unleashed. The Jose Soto Show.
You know, I was listening to the debate at the Delaware House of Representatives. They were debating the gay marriage bill. And, well, it passed, just to let you know. And it looks like it's going to go all the way through and it's going to get approved and signed by the governor. But what really stuck with me the most was this persistent questioning by these neoconservatives talking about, well, we already have civil unions, so what's the difference? Why do you want marriage for? Well, many people on the internet said, and Twitter, they were saying, well, it's the status, it's equal treatment, and some of us were trying to, come up with some sort of anecdotal, or not really anecdotal, but rhetorical reasoning as to why civil unions is not enough, and is actually, legally speaking, if you look at the law, it's a whole different institution. It's a separate institution. Just like we had separate water fountains for colored people, but it's not the same thing, I know, but it's the same concept of you go that way, I go this way. That's fine. So the opponents were saying, well, why do you need this? What do you need this for? You already have civil unions. So I'm thinking about it and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. Let's say if you go to a restaurant, okay? You go to a restaurant and you sit down and you order a steak. Let's say the restaurant is a steakhouse. You go into the steakhouse, you sit down, you order a New York strip. Alright? You order a New York strip well done. Or actually, I don't like it well done. Medium rare. And the waiter comes back from the kitchen and brings you not a New York steak, which you ordered, right? He brought you a flat iron steak, which is a different cut, and it looks different, and it's really actually smaller than a New York strip. And you say to the waiter, hey, what the fuck is this shit? Maybe not in those terms, but you'd be like, what the fuck? I ordered I ordered a New York strip. I didn't order a flat iron. The waiter says to you, but wait a minute, sir. What do you mean? It's the same thing. It's meat. It's another part of the cow, but it's still a cow. It's still beef. Eat it. Would you eat it? Of course not. You would be like, fuck this shit. I'm leaving. And that's sort of what really came to my head when I was listening to that, to those arguments. You might say that, yeah, civil unions give you the benefits just like marriage, but it's not a marriage. And they were saying, and they were asking, well, what's the difference then? What are you being denied? Marriage. That's what you're being denied. That's the unequal treatment under the law. Simple as that. Period. And one of these reactionaries kept asking, well, I can't see the difference. Well, if you can't see the difference, then you're a fucking moron. How about that? If you can't see the difference, and somebody serves you, a flat iron steak instead of a New York strip, and then you eat it, right? You'll be like, well, whatever, it's the same thing. Would you eat it? I bet you that these reactionaries that think that way, they probably would. Oh, okay, it's the same steak. No, come on, you ordered a New York strip, not a flat iron steak. Now talking about steaks, I'm getting a little bit hungry. I haven't had any dinner today. Maybe I should. But you can say, well, it's beef, right? Yeah, but it's a whole different kind of piece of meat. You might say, oh, it's a piece of meat, it's a piece of meat, it's a piece of meat. Yeah, but there are many types of meats. And I don't know if that's a good analogy. I guess it is. For me, it is, because I think I was. Maybe the reason why that analogy came to my head was because I was a little bit hungry. So, but it makes sense. At least to me, you go to a restaurant, you sit down, you order a New York steak. The waiter brings you a flat iron steak. And you say, "What the hell?" And the waiter says, "Hey, it's still beef, right? It's still beef. It's still a steak. Now eat it. Just be glad that you at least got a steak." That's not gonna fly. And neither this bullshit that civil unions is enough. Well, fuck you. If any of these reactionaries, I was a little bit surprised that none of these people, turned the question around and said, well, why don't you get a civil union? If you think that's enough, why don't you get one? And let's see what they say. They say, I'm heterosexual. Yeah. And that's why we are debating this, because why should gay people just be relegated to a very quasi new institution that's very, shady? So, I mean, that's the whole point.